morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I hope all of you are fine, doing well. So this is the first class of biomedical instrumentation. Now, before going to discuss the topic, I would like to introduce the CO's course outcomes and the objective of this course. So I need to share the screen. All of you must follow this. Is it visible? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the syllabus of biomedical instrumentation where 6 modules has been there, and module one, that is the basically based on the basic physiology and the transducers. As module two, that is based on the biopotential and bioelectrodes. Module three, that is based on the electrophysiological measurements where electrocardiography, electromyography, electroencephalography and their applications has been discussed. Mm, Non-electrical parameter measurements are there in module 4 where the blood pressure and blood flow measurement can be done. Module 5 is based on the medical imaging techniques. Different techniques will be discussed. And module 6, that is the biotelemetry. Biotelemetry, that is based on the transmission and reception of different biological signals via long distance communication. So there are 6 modules in your syllabus, and the text and reference books are here. The Cromwell, Biomedical Instrumentation and Measurement by Cromwell, that is the main textbook, and you can avail it from the library. Another books has been there. Kanpur is also there. Okay, Handbook of Biomedical Instrumentation by R.S. Kadpur, and reference books has been there. That is the Introduction to Biomedical Equipment Technology by Carr. So different books are available, but only Cromwell and Kanpur, these 2 books are available in our library. Okay, so you can avail it anytime. The course objective is the first one. You will be able to explore the biomedical instrumentation and its application. After completing this course, you can able to explore the biomedical, what is it, biomedical instrumentation and different applications, and you can learn the fundamentals of able to learn the fundamentals of frequency transducers and um, which is applicable in different measurements for biological uh, signal measurement purpose. And you can able to explore the human body parameter measurements using different setups, different machines has been there, different devices has been there. And also you can able to understand the different types of biosignals like ECG signal, EEG signal, EMG. I hope all you have heard about these signals in our daily life. ECG, EEG, EMG. So these signals can be understand what is the meaning of this signal, because there has been some graphical format of each signals, and what is the meaning of that signal you can understand after completing this course. So after that, there are 5 course outcomes. The first one is inspect the common biomedical signals. Okay, or another is called biometrics has been there. Different signals has been there. You can inspect the uh, common biomedical signals after completing this course. Uh, you can explain the role of different biopotential electrodes where action potentials has been arised due to some physiological functions, and you can measure it by using the electrodes. Third course outcome is you can explain the measurement of non-electrical parameters, which is based on the blood pressure and blood flow. Basically, these are based on the blood pressure and blood flow measurements. Fourth course outcome is to identify the various imaging techniques. Okay? Different devices, different instrumentation system has been there. You can identify it, which is to be used for measurement of particular parameter. Different imaging techniques has been there. You can identify it. Fifth course outcome is illustrate the application of biotelemetry system, and we have heard about the telemedicine. Okay, so that is one type of biotelemetry under biotelemetry system, or online video call, by which you can ask your doctor, or you can communicate with some pathological centers to perform certain operation means the uh, measuring techniques. Okay, so that is based on the biotelemetry system for long distance communication purpose. Okay, so these are the five outcomes you can able to explore it after completing this course. Okay, so now we can start the subject or course, biomedical instrumentation. So today I would like to introduce some concept about the biomedical instrumentation. Okay, so these are the contents of my lecture. First I'd like to introduce, then what is it, then what is the importance of biomedical instrumentation, what is the objective of biomedical instrumentation. Now we have the anatomy and physiology of human body. Physiological systems has been there, different systems. I would like to discuss in short the different physiological systems of our human body. Classification, next will be the classification of biomedical instruments. What are the instruments are used to measure the biomedical signals or the different parameters. Then I'd like to discuss the biomedical measurements. What is the source of biomedical signals, that must be discussed. Then the main instrumentation system, the block diagram, and what is the component, what is the different components are there, I'd like to discuss. Then the constraints or the challenges in biomedical instrumentation design. Then the last will be the common medical measurements and instrumentation, instruments those are used to perform the function to measure some parameters. Okay, so basically the medical instrumentation, that is the subdivision of biomedical engineering. Okay, and it emphasizes the measurement of all the variables in the body for the use of diagnosis and all the devices that performs therapy. So here actually it is a cross-disciplinary field of study which is based on the biology, chemistry, and medicine. Okay, and the prefix bio, that means something connected with life in biomedical engineering. So biophysics and biochemistry, these two interdisciplines, basic sciences have been applied to living things. Similarly, bioinstrumentation means the measurements of biological variables. The field of measurement is referred to as uh, biometrics, as I have told you earlier. So biomedical instrumentation, that is used to take measurements for these three purpose: monitoring, diagnostic means, and the therapy. So there are two types of biomedical instrumentation, which is the classification. Major two types are available, that is the clinical instrumentation and the research instrumentation. So clinical instrumentation, that is basically used for the diagnosis, care, and treatment of patients. Research instrumentation, that is used for acquiring new knowledge pertaining to the various systems that compose the human organism. Okay, although some instruments can be used in both areas. So actually clinical instruments are more rugged and easier to use. The main thrust is to obtain a limited set of reliable measurements from a large group of patients, and on providing the doctor with enough information to permit him to make clinical decisions. On the other hand, research instrumentation that is normally more complex, more specialized, and is often designed to provide a much higher degree of accuracy and resolution. Okay, research instruments, basically these are generally operated by skilled technologists whose primary training is in the operation of such instruments. Okay, so move on to the next slide, where this is the what is the importance of biomedical instrumentation. So studying of biomedical instrumentation helps in the following manners. The first one is to understand the mechanisms, efficiencies, and physical challenges or changes of various subsystems of the body. Second is to evolve an instrumentation system for diagnosis, therapy, and the supplementation of body function. Number three is to obtain the qualitative and quantitative both knowledge through different instruments which can help for analysis of disorders and the biomechanics of the cure process. Fourth one is to understand the biochemical electro or the thermo or the hydraulico or pneumatico, physico, magnetico or mechanico dynamic actions and changes of various subsystems of the body in normal stress, normal states. So because we need to understand different our body basically, it it is a combinations of different biological, chemical, and the electrochemical, mechanical, hydraulic, or the pneumatics mechanisms has been there. Different signals are there. They are interconnected to each other. Okay. The fifth is to understand the above actions and changes in various subsystems of our body in the abnormal states. Okay. And sixth is to obtain the qualitative and quantitative knowledge of what drug does to the body and what body does to the drug. We need to understand. Okay. Next is the basic objectives of biomedical instrumentation. Is the first one is the information gathering. Okay. Uh, Basically, instrumentation is used to measure natural phenomena and other variables to aid man in his research or in his search for knowledge about himself as well as the universe in which he lives. Second objective is to diagnosis for the detection and hopefully the correction of some incorrect behavior of the system which is being measured. The measurements are made, and this type of instrumentation is called as the troubleshooting equipment. Third is the evaluation. So measurements help us to determine the ability of a system to meet its functional requirements, and this sometimes this functional requirements this is treated as the proof of performance or quality control tests. Okay. The fourth objective is to monitor. So monitoring is there. So instrumentation helps in monitoring some process or operation in order to obtain continuous or periodic information about the state of the system which is being measured. And the fifth objective is to control. So biomedical instrumentation here may help control of the operation of a system which is based on the changes in one or more of the internal parameters or in the output of the system. Okay, so biomedical instrumentation involves all the objectives of the general instrumentation system. So instrumentation for biomedical research can generally be considered as information gathering instrumentation. It also includes some monitoring and control devices. It helps the physician in the diagnosis of uh, diseases and other disorders. It also used in evaluation of the physical condition of patients in routine physical examination. And there has been some special instrumentation system which are used for monitoring of patients undergoing surgery or are kept in intensive care unit. So move on to the next slide. Anatomy and physiology. So what is anatomy? The science of structure of the body, that is known as anatomy. And what is physiology? So that of its functioning, which is known as the physiology. So here anatomy can be further classified as the gross anatomy or topographical anatomy or microscopic anatomy, which is also called as histology. So gross anatomy, what is it? It deals with the study of structure of the organs with naked eyes on dissection. That is the gross anatomy. Topographical anatomy, what is it? It basically deals with the position of the organs in relation to each other. And for microscopic anatomy, it is the study of the minute structure of the organs by means of microscopy. Okay, so cytology, that is a special field where structure, functions, and development of the cells has been studied. In the same way, physiology, that is also classified into four categories like cell physiology, pathophysiology, circulatory physiology, and as well as the respiratory physiology. So under cell physiology, it is the study of the functions of the cell. That's why it is called the cell physiology. Now, what is pathophysiology? Which is basically it is related to the pathological functions of the organs. What is the symptoms of the disease that can be uh, that is related with the pathophysiology. Circulatory physiology, that is the study of blood circulation relating to the functioning of the heart. That is basically the circulatory physiology. And respiratory physiology, according to this name, all of you can understand, it deals with the functioning of the breathing organs. Okay, next is different physiological systems of our human body. So the first one is the cardiovascular system. So I will discuss each one, cardiovascular, respiratory, nervous, one by one in short. So in what is happened in cardiovascular system? Basically, it is a circulatory system or the vascular system. It is also called the vascular system. That is an organ system that permits blood to circulate and transport nutrients such as amino acids, electrolytes, as well as the different gases like the oxygen, carbon dioxide, and the hormones and blood cells to and from the cells of in the body, and these are used to provide nourishments, and it helps in fighting diseases, and also it stabilizes the temperature and the pH to maintain the homeostasis. Okay, so that is happened in cardiovascular system. Now, what happens in respiratory system? So, in respiratory system, so it is a biological system consisting of specific organs and the structures also, which are used for the process of respiration in an organism. Okay, and it is involved in the intake and exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between an organism and the environment. So, in air breathing, vertebrates like the human beings, respiration takes place in the respiratory organs called lungs. Okay. Next one is the nervous system, and basically the network of nerve cells and fibers which transmits nerve impulses between parts of the body. It consists of two main parts. Uh, One is the central nervous system, and the another part which is called the peripheral nervous system. Okay, so central nervous system that contains the brain and uh, spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, it consists of mainly of nerves which are enclosed bundles of the long fibers, or we call axons, that connect the central nervous system to every other parts of our body. Then coming to the skeletal system, the skeletal system includes all of the bones and joints in our body. Each bone is a complex living organ that is made up of many cells, protein fibers, and as well as the minerals. And the skeleton acts as a scaffold by providing support and protection for the soft tissues that makes the rest of the body, and also provides attachment points for muscles to allow movements of the joints. Okay. Next is the muscular system, which is an organ system consisting of skeletal, smooth, and the cardiac muscles, and it basically permits the movements of the body, maintains the posture, and circulates the blood throughout our body. So, basically the muscular system that is in vertebrates is controlled through the nervous system, although through the some muscles that can be completely autonomous. Together with the skeletal system, it forms the musculoskeletal system, which is responsible for movement of the human body. Okay, next is the digestive system, and it is a group of organs working together to convert food into energy and basic nutrients to feed the entire body. So basically the food passes through a long tube inside the body known as the alimentary canal, or the intestinal tract, or GI tract. In short, it is called GI tract. And the alimentary canal is made up of oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestines, and large intestines. So this is the digestive system. Next is the endocrine system, where includes all of the glands of the body and the hormones produced by those glands. The glands are controlled basically directly by stimulation from the nervous system, as well as by the chemical receptors in the blood and hormone produced by other glands. Now, by regulating the functions of organs in the body, these glands helps to maintain the body's homeostasis. Okay. Next is the exocrine system. Uh, it is an organ system consisting of the skin, hair, nails, and exocrine glands. The skin is only a few millimeters thick, yet is by far the largest organ in the body. The average person's skin weigh 10 pounds and has a surface area of almost 20 square feet. Skin forms the body's outer covering and forms a barrier to protect the body from different chemicals or diseases, UV lights, and as well as some physical damages. Okay. Next is the lymphatic system. Uh, the immune and lymphatic systems are two closely related organ systems that share several organs and physiological functions. Our immune system defends against some infectious um, pathogenic viruses, bacteria, as well as some fungus. Uh, and this immune system works to keep these harmful agents out of the body and attacks those that manage to enter. Okay. Next is the urinary system, where it consists of kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. So basically, the kidneys filter the blood to remove waste and produce urine. The ureters, urinary bladders, and the urethra together form the urinary tract, which acts as a plumbing system to drain urine from the kidney. Okay, and then release it during this, urination. Besides filtering and eliminating waste from the body, the urinary system also maintains the homeostasis of water, ions, pH level, blood pressure, um, and also it helps the red blood cells. Okay. Then the reproductive system. So our actually the male reproductive system includes the scrotum, testes, spermatic ducts, sex glands, and the penis. These organs work together to produce sperm and the male gamete and the other components of the semen. So these organs also work together to deliver semen out of the body and into the vagina, where it can fertilize egg cells to produce offspring. The female reproductive system includes the ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina, vulva, and the mammary glands and the breasts. So these organs actually involved in the production and transportation of gametes and the production of sex hormones. Okay, and the female reproductive system also facilitates the fertilization of ova by sperm and supports the development of offspring during pregnancy and infancy. Okay, so these are the physical systems of the human body. Okay, we have 6 minutes to end this session. If it is ended, then all of you must rejoin using the same link to continue the second session. Okay, move on to the next slide. So here the classification of biomedical instruments has been given. Different biomedical instruments are there, for blood related instruments are here, like blood pressure meter, blood pH meter, blood flow meter, blood cell counter, calorimeter, spectrophotometer, flame photometer, and digital blood pressure meter. So all these are related to blood related measurements. That's why these are called blood instruments. And heart instruments are basically this is basically uh, involved in heart measurement, which is the ECG machine, pacemaker, defibrillator, heart lung machine, bedside monitor, plethysmograph, electronic stethoscope, and the phonocardiograph. All these are related to the heart instruments. Another brain instruments are there. EEG, tomographic instruments are there. Muscle instruments are the EMG, muscle stimulator is there. Kidney instruments are available, which is basically used for dialysis purpose. So dialysis instruments is there. Lithotripsy instrument is there. And for hearing purpose, the ear instruments are available, audiometer or different hearing aids are available. For eye purpose, eye instruments are oculometer and different aids for blind. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Uh, Next is the lung instruments. Basically, spirometer is used to testing the lung functions. Different body instruments are there, which is used to measure some parameters like ultrasonography, thermography instrument, radiographic instrument, and the endoscopy plantar fasciotomy instrument. Endoscope instrument is there, which is related to the body instrument. And different physiotherapy instruments are also available, which is called the diathermy or the sortive instrument, electrosleeper instrument, vibrator, which is used for massaging purpose, and the jubilum instrument, mm, and the microwave diathermy. So these are the different biomedical instruments are used to measure the biological signals of the parameters. Move on to the next slide. So, biomedical instruments, biomedical measurements, basically measurements in which the biomedical instrumentation is employed, that can also be divided into two categories. One is the in vivo, another is the in vitro. Okay, so in vivo measurement, that is one which is made on or within the living organism itself, within the body. Okay, an example would be a device that is that must be inserted into the bloodstream to measure the pH of the blood directly. So it is within our body. That is called the in vivo measurement. And in vitro measurement, that is one performed outside the body, even though it relates to the functions of the body. Like, for example, mm, uh, pH of a sample of blood that has been drawn from a patient. Okay, that is also called, that is also performed in vitro type measurement. So literally the term in vitro means in glass, which implies that in vitro measurements are usually performed in test tubes. Okay, so these are two types of measurements which can be performed in biomedical instrumentation. Now, coming to the different sources of biomedical signals. So, basically, what is biometrics? Biometrics is the branch of science that deals with the measurement of physiological variables as well as the parameters. Okay, so biomedical signals are basically used to for extract the information on biological system under some investigation. Okay, and different biomedical signals are available, like bioelectric signals, uh, bioacoustic signals, biochemical signals, as well as the biomagnetic signals, biooptic signals, bioimpedance signals. So these are the different signals. I will explain one by one on the next session. Okay, so we have 1 minute to end this session. All of you must join to the next session using the same link. Okay, so until this one, do you have any queries, any question? Anyone?
No, sir.
Sharonna, are you there?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
একটু অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা নিয়ে নিও। হ্যাঁ?
ওকে স্যার।